I think I can get started right away. So, bees in the city. To a lot of people, this still sounds really crazy. For us, we feel as though it makes a lot of sense, and that there's really good reasons for why bees do well here, and why it's not only an okay idea, but an important one, perhaps. So, Lindsay and I started taking care of bees about 10 years ago. We got really fascinated with the life of the honeybee. It's got this incredible sort of social structure within the hive, as well as the importance of the pollination that they provide us. So to break it down, bees help flowers have sex. So they're moving the pollen from flower to flower so that those flowers can have babies, fruits and vegetables or nuts. So this is very important to our food security. And as most of you are probably aware, the pollinators are on decline worldwide. So in 2011, we decided to bring 2 hives into the city. We plunked them down on our porch in Wolseley. And through the summer, we watched as the hives were a way to bring community together, get into conversations about the importance of the bee, and to do work with our neighbors and so on. So we also saw that it pollinated our friends' gardens and produced honey right where we were living in the city. At the end of the summer in 2011, we approached the city with some other beekeeping interest groups. And we had all these meetings and all these smiles and pats on the backs and, oh yeah, great points from the politicians, and then went home to hear a hard no. So we spent about a year kind of licking our wounds and moping. And after that, we started to approach the city again. And the second time, we found more stakeholders from across the city that weren't just beekeepers. And it was very important as it allowed us to show that we were not eccentric. Well, we are eccentric, but there was benefits to what we wanted to do. After gathering stakeholders, we were still presented with this question: why urban beekeeping? Why bees in the city? Why don't you just do it in the country? So, first of all, it's about public awareness. 80% of the Canadian population lives in large urban centers. And we're becoming more and more urbanized and losing our connection with the agricultural world, along with the knowledge of how food's raised and how the environment is what we depend on for our food security. I can get into that for like 60 minutes, so I'll just move on there. So it's very important to engage people in these conversations where they are in their daily lives. We also found that it's a great community builder as well as food production, and as well as cooking and the chores that go around food production and agriculture build a sense of community. So it's good for people. Secondly, it's good for bees. This is a picture of honey. We produce the most beautiful neighborhood honeys. They're all unique to each neighborhood based on the flavor of and colors of the nectar that's concentrated into the honey. So we're getting a tangible food product, but also the honeybee has this diversity in diet that they don't get in the countryside. And that's due to monoculture farming. Monocultures are those huge swaths of land. I guess I'm standing in front of the pictures for some of you. These huge swaths of land where we plant only one crop. One of the additional problems to the non-diverse diet is that they're heavily sprayed with chemicals. So this can be unhealthy for bees. So having them in the city where people are becoming aware of chemical use and have a diversity of flowers, including weeds like dandelions, is a very good thing for the bee. We also get to reduce our carbon footprint by eating local, and in this case, kind of what we call ultra-local. You can reduce what is about 4,000 kilometers of distance traveled for your average food product at the grocery store to a few kilometers. This is a huge amount of emissions and can help to address, eating local can help to address economic issues in the community as well as global warming, which is a very massive issue. So we're going to quickly back up to 2014. With those meetings, we were able to successfully petition the city to allow urban beekeeping in the downtown. The first hives went in at the Forks, which is here on the caboose, in May of that year. it gave us a working example of bees being successfully done in the city in a safe and respectful way for other members of the community. So this was very instrumental in us continuing to work with the city. So we read between the lines, lots of meetings with the city, lots of patience, a virtue that is not one of mine. This last fall, they announced that for 2018, we would be allowed to keep bees across the city with a couple of little regulations. This is important to us as our focus changes towards engaging other circles of the Canadian community. We really see Winnipeg as a bunch of little circles, and society as these little circles of your influence. What we're trying to accomplish with going to schools, community groups, senior citizens' homes, universities, is to overlap our circle of influence with the people we're partnering with. And in that way, growing the amount of society that we can engage in these important conversations. We have interacted with designers. We have interacted with schools like Marymount School. We've also been able to engage with cooks. So there's lots of different ways that we do this. But essentially our goal is that we're opening conversations not just about protecting the pollinator, which is our primary goal, but also about sustainable food production moving forward and being mindful and making a connection for people to their behaviors and their decisions and environmental health. We really see collaborating as part of this, and we are very thankful that you had us here tonight. So if you see us on a rooftop or a caboose, just give a honk or a wave. And yeah, so that's, I think, the last one.